Okay, so we're now with Bespoke Quarter, which is really, really exciting. So we're here with Andrew. If you wanted to just intro yourself, tell us a little bit about Bespoke Quarter.
So Bespoke Quarter, we started almost 5 years ago now. So we're a bespoke manufacturer based in the heart of the Jewellery Quarter. Our offices look out over the clock tower, which is nice. Yeah. We started with 3 of us 5 years ago, and now we've got a team of 14, and we'll pretty much make anything and everything.
Yeah, amazing. So you have this beautiful building behind you. What made you choose here?
So we outgrew our previous place, and we spent about 6 months looking, and then this just happened to come up. And the building itself was actually a purpose-built jewellery manufacturer's.
Okay.
So it's about 145 years old, purpose-built jewellery building. Yeah. And we're the first jewellers back in here in about 30 years.
Nice.
So yeah, it's
sort of meant to be, really, isn't it?
It's just perfectly laid out, perfectly designed for what we're doing. Even 150 years ago, we're still doing the same thing now.
That's really nice. Yeah, that sort of makes it even more special. Yeah. You're big on recycled gold, so could you tell me a little bit more about why you chose that?
I think partly because there's 2 things really. One, the cost is no different. So it doesn't actually cost any more to use recycled gold as it does to use mined gold. And 2, there is enough gold out here. I'm sure the Jewellery Quarter as a whole must see so much valuable items go through it. And we don't do the refining, but obviously our suppliers refine it, reuse it. And it just is a bit of a cleaner supply chain than, why do we need to mine more if there's plenty available? Gold's used in everything now. It's in our phones, it's in, it's literally in everything we use. Same with silver, so actually knowing that what we're using is just being recycled and recirculated. I think it adds to the story.
So do you make all of your rings here?
Yep, so everything's done in-house.
You've got a workshop and everything as well? That's really cool.
We've got a design team here, and then we've got 8 people in the workshop. Just non-stop making.
In-house, close-knit environment, that's really nice. We'd love to have a little look in your workshop.
So once we've got a design brief, it'll come through to the CAD team, who will then basically turn that image or brief into a visual rendered image. We'll generally use whichever software best suits the job being done. Then once the rings these are just test waxes, so we can do prototypes to either send to customers try on. I think what a lot of people struggle with the bespoke process is actually translating what they're seeing as a rendered image into what it is as a physical ring. We're all guilty of it. You look at an image on your phone and everyone zooms in, and suddenly you're looking at rings that are 20 times bigger than they're going to be in real life, and almost focusing on the details that you are not going to see. And these kind of just bridge that gap of showing what is going to look like, rather than...
Is it like a real life?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to see in scale. We're used to it because we look at jewellery all day. But when someone's making that one-time purchase, it's very different, isn't it?
You do want to make sure it's right.
Yeah, exactly. So this just fulfills that. They can try it on. Some people like to have them printed actually with the stones in.
Okay.
So these can be sent out directly to customers.
Because that's really good, actually. Gives them the illusion of what it could.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just that. It's that sense of scale. If you look at one without the stone, you can see a lot of claws. It maybe doesn't.
Looks a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas one like this, actually, you can see it's a bit more forwards, a bit more finesse. So
Good, never really does it.
As a raw cast, things are quite roughed, and this is where every piece still has that element of hand finished. Even though we use technology, it is still
to physically make.
We have more members staff in the workshop than we do anywhere else, because it still needs that hand-on individual approach. This one just before it's about to be soldered together. You can see this will be a 2-part ring, so the head and the shank are cast separately. Nice. And we'll clean up and polish all the components before they're soldered, just so we can get that mirror finish.
Amazing.
And all the angles, because it makes a difference to the finished ring. Even though that's not set yet, you still want a bright surface underneath the setting.
That's really cool to see all the behind the scenes of it, because obviously we just see finished rings, we never see the process, so this is really lovely to see.
And then, yeah, obviously goes to setting. So most of it's done underneath microscope now, just for that additional accuracy. And, traditionally people would have just done this by hand with graders, just using brute strength. But now we've got the tools to make it not having to put as much pressure on, I guess, means you can be a bit more precise. You're not relying just on brute force to get a job finished. Because it's such an old building, like it was designed around, getting natural light into it rather than just, 150 years ago, they wouldn't have had lighting like we do. So, the whole building is designed around it.
That is the thing I've noticed, like all these windows are like...
Yeah, massive windows, skylights there. Same with this part of the building.
Yeah.
It's all...
It's amazing, yeah.
Has anyone got anything to polish? We fitted this workshop about 2.5 years ago. So it is all very, it's all done traditional.
And this is?
I'm Gemma. I'm Business Development Coordinator at Bespoke Quarter.
And so I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions.
Of course.
And then we're going to throw in some rings. It's going to be great. So obviously trilogy rings are quite big this year. Have you noticed a rise in the demand?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, especially with like the labs, which I'm sure we'll speak about, we found that a lot of intricate shapes are on the outers as well. We've got boxes as well that we keep a stock of, just of those intricate shapes, just because they're so popular.
Obviously you mentioned labs, so are you saying lab grown diamonds? Or
yeah, lab grown diamonds, yeah. They're definitely more available, they're definitely more wanted. That's not to say natural isn't a thing anymore, it's just we seem to find, because the lab's got the lower market, we can sell a lot more of them.
So have you got any unique trilogy ring designs that we can have a little look at?
Yes, we have got quite a few actually. So we've got this one, which is an Ashoka with Cadillac sides, and this one is all natural.
Nice. Would you say that unique designs are a bit more popular for the trilogy rings, or have you seen more of like just the typical ovals and pears?
Yeah, I mean, we get basic ones, and by basic I mean like with the baguettes or with the rounds, even with pears. But we do find, because we've got the availability to get easier and different cut stones, we do have a bit more of a range now, so that's good.
Obviously, unique diamonds. What is your most unique diamonds that you've got? Have you got any for us to see?
So I think we've got a whole range. That's definitely something we've got. I think our most unique piece that we've got are probably our disco rings. They're step cut ovals. Yeah, step cut ovals. We've got a big selection of them. And they've got lots of different facets, and we've worked with that with the jewellery and made the jewellery have lots of facets as well. So I think that's probably our best one.
Yeah,
they get
very
the most
unique.
attention.
Would you say the gemstones are quite big with those unique shapes, or is it just preference?
We've struggled to find gemstones with these shapes. These are all labs. It's not to say again that you couldn't, but I just don't think that's sort of grown in that area just yet.
Yeah. Obviously, we're saying trilogy rings are trending right now. So what do you think by the end of 2026 would be trending?
Oh, that's a difficult one. I hope knife edge comes in. Whether or not it will, I'm not sure, but I just think they're quite nice. They look really clean. Same with a 3-row pave. I like those. But in terms of what I've seen a lot of the Princess Diana cluster rings. I think they'll be a lot more popular by the end of the year as well. But yeah, I think different. People are always striving for something different.
I have noticed at the moment, I think lots of people are looking for those unique bespoke pieces. So I definitely do think we're going to see some really cool designs by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Definitely.